a date? Nobody! Sorry, I don't know what you thought it was, but... Not a date. Talk to each other. Okay. Y'all are liars. I feel like there's a lot of chemistry going on in this room, is what I'm saying. But yes, my name is Holly, and since it's Valentine's Day show, I once dated a guy, actually, whose last name is my first name, you know? So I did what anybody here would do. I thought about marrying him immediately. So that way, later on in life, when I'm older, and I have kids, you know, and one of those kids comes up to me and is like, "Excuse me, Mrs. Holly?" I could look that kid in the eye and go, "Mrs. Holly, that's my mother-in-law's name. Please, call me Holly." I do have a different partner now. I have a different boyfriend now. We've been together for 4 years, you know, and at that stage of being that long together with somebody, I feel like we all know, everyone in this room knows sexuality is not a choice. You know, you don't choose who you fall in love with. Because I would literally never. ever choose to fall in love with a man, number one, whose first name is Brad. Oh! Thank you so much. I'm in love with a Brad. And listen, the worst part about his name is actually not just his name, it's when it's combined with his best friend's name. Do we have any guesses as to Brad's best friend's name?
Tanner.
Jennifer.
Tanner.
Optimistic, my love. No. My favorite part of that is like anytime people shout that out, it's like, yes, there we go. Yeah, keep it coming. It does feel like I'm at a Bass Pro Shops fire sale, but or the insurrection. Okay. I heard the name. One of you said the name, but it was 2 letters off, and somehow 10 trillion times worse. Brad's best friend, his ultimate best friend, that I have to introduce him with sometimes. His name is Chet. Oh my God. Brad and Chet! That's how they say it. Brad and Chet! I love him so much. I do. But like, does it, like those 2 names combined, they truly feel like the men that started the first fraternity, don't they? Right? Like if there's the walking man diagram, they're at the beginning of it, putting a roofie in a drink. And I know this because every time I have to introduce them together, I do want to Sigma Kappa kill myself. Okay? Got it. Cool. I love Brad. I do love him. I do. And I do have a new life development, though. I am engaged. It is to Chet. It's to Chet. And I love him so much. And the night we got engaged, I was a little worried that he regretted it immediately. Not just because I ruthlessly make fun of him on stage, sir, you know, but because the night we got engaged, that night, we're winding down, we're excited, we're celebrating still. We want to consummate the relationship, the engagement, you know? We want to fucking have engagement sex. And a side note about me, before I go to bed every night, I get high. I do. I get high. I tell my family it's for my OCD. I love being high. I love it. Okay, same, cool. You have OCD and you love being high? It's just me. I'm just mentally ill and I'm seeing myself. Okay. So we're engaged. We're newly engaged. I'm about to have sex with my fiance, my future husband, the love of my life, and I'm very high. And we're making out. We're fooling around, and about halfway through, I can't stop laughing. I can't stop laughing. Inside his mouth. I can't stop laughing. He looks at me confused, you know, wondering why I'm laughing. So to clarify, I look at my future husband and I say, "Babe, you're about to have the funniest sex you've ever had. He did not think that was funny. That's funny. So we keep going. I want to make this better. I want to make this right. So I go down his body like I'm going to do you know what. But instead I stop. Okay? I grab it. I tap it. And I look at him and I say, is this thing on? It was and then it wasn't. It wasn't quite the gag he was looking for. We're still engaged, don't worry, we're still engaged. But we did spend the whole pandemic together. We've been together for 4 years. So in all reality, the first year of our relationship was pre-pandemic. 2 years of that were in the pandemic of our relationship. Did anyone else here spend the pandemic with another person? Successfully, I should say. Yeah. Was it with Jennifer? No? Oh, shit! Okay, well, don't listen to my advice, what I'm about to say next, because it will happen again. Okay. So I spent the whole pandemic with Brad, and we're engaged now, so I fucking know everything about the dude. I know we both leave the door open when we shake. Are you kidding me? We do. When you're in a pandemic, what are you gonna do? You're lonely, you're like, hi! Yeah, it's a big one. And we spent so much time together, I know everything about him, so eventually, I just started asking him random questions about himself, to get the juices flowing. And when you do that in a relationship, I think we can all agree and say it together. When you start asking each other random questions, it always leads to a fight. It does. Right? Big one, big fights. I thought of a brilliant question, but to introduce it to him, I knew how to butter him up. So I was like, babe. If you know what kind of dog you would be if I thought you were a dog? You're strong, you're big, you're loyal, you're kind. You'd be a husky. It's a good one, right? The hottest of dogs, right? I was so proud of myself. I nailed it. Wow, he is total husky. I mean, also, are you jealous? Wow. He's a husky. And I was ready for him to tell me what dog I would be, so I just kind of stood there and I was like, okay. He didn't say, so I prompt him and I say, hey, babe. What kind of dog would I be if I were a dog? And without even looking up from his phone, he doesn't look up, he just goes, oh, you? You'd be a coyote. What? I don't even get to be a dog? My own fake dog scenario? I'm sitting there going, what do I do that's so coyote? What do I do? And he sees that I'm upset, so he looks at me and goes, oh. But like a cute one. It didn't happen! What? But I realized that's kind of like when you tell somebody they look like a celebrity they don't want to look like. Has anyone ever had that happen? I feel like honestly, rule of thumb, never tell somebody they look like a celebrity. Just fucking don't do it. It never results in positive things. I was at a coffee shop ordering a coffee. The barista looks at me, and I had glasses on. She looked at me and she was like, oh my God, you kind of look like, right now, okay, you kind of look like Moaning Myrtle. Has anyone ever told you that? And I was like, oh, has anyone ever told me I look like a dead pervert? No. Nobody has. But then she clarifies and she goes, oh, but way prettier. It simply did not help. It did not. And then the last one that happened, because after I said that joke, a guy came up to me after a show last weekend. He comes up to me really fucking proud of himself. And he goes, okay, I've got it. Got it. Has anyone ever told you you look like if iCarly was really into drugs? Is an attractive woman. I can get that. But no one's ever looked me in the eyes, thought this was a compliment, when they told me that I looked like a child star's absolute rock bottom. So what I'm saying is don't do it. Don't But in that moment, just like a coyote, Mama needed to be fed. So she took it. I took the compliment. I don't know if I got the like. Did I get the like? I'm looking at that dude over there that's like furiously thinking of another celebrity I look like. Alright, do I have time for one more quick one? I'm gonna do one more quick one. Did anyone play a lot of video games over the pandemic? Yeah. I don't know why I looked at the one guy with the Supreme hat on and I was like, yes, you did. We did, my dude. I played so many video games over the pandemic, but there's one that I can no longer play of all time. I have to eliminate myself from this game, okay? It is The Sims. Did anyone play The Sims? Yes, big Sims heads? Okay. If you don't know what The Sims is, it's a real-life simulation game. So essentially, you create a person, you get it a job, you build it a home, you live its life. Or if you're like us two in the pandemic, very alone, you make all of your Sims fuck each other, and then you kill them. You kill them all. But I can't play this game anymore because in the latest iteration of the game, The Sims 4, you can actually give your Sim the job of a stand-up comedian. I love the saddest laugh I just heard. Oh no. And in the pandemic, I did that, and my fucking God, she was crushing it. She was doing so good. I'm just like this, and she's killing it. She even had her own catchphrase, and as you know, they speak Simlish, which is a form of English. So she would end every fucking show like Jeff Foxworthy. And she would go, Spiebledorf, Diebledorf, wubba wubba! And the whole crowd would yell back, wubba wubba! So I did what I do best. I fucking killed her. I killed her. I can't have another one of me running out there. She had bigger boobs too. I couldn't do it. All right, that's it for